At the moment, I'm sitting in Turku, and I had this idea of walking around in town and filming a little bit. You know what? Fuck that. And I did manage to get some footage, though. On the 4th of September, it's the National Food Day, I believe. Just like a day for everything, right? So there's a National Food Day here. And since we don't have any food culture, I just thought I'd go through what we actually eat here. There's a bunch of stuff that we eat here, but you know, some of those like really typical things. Like sausages. You can see the sausage stand is miles long. And okay, so what comes to the food? As it is the National Food Day or International Food Day. I don't know if anybody has a food day. Holler. Oats and vegan stuff. Vegan stuff made from oats. A lot of people make, a lot of companies make vegan substitute for meat, for instance, from soy products. And Finland does it a lot from oats. And the oats has like this thick, denser texture that is kind of, it's nicer than soy. I think at least. And then we also have beans that we make stuff of. Beans have more of a taste, according to me. So that's nice. You can get a lot of good vegan products here. And shitloads of sausages. And one thing that we have here up in the Nordics, this is not just Finnish, this is sort of like Sweden is the same. We sell a lot of candy. We sell a lot of sweets that are like, you know, gelatin-based cancer radioactive colored sweets, and we eat them. And I don't really see that often in Europe. Usually there would be like shitloads of chocolate, but not this kind of juvenile, childish candy that we sell here. Anyways, we have a lot of that, and well, I was a little bit disappointed with the salmiakki / licorice stand here because it's not that huge, but it was sufficient enough. Except I couldn't find my favorite licorice, which is no, vodka and licorice does not go well together, so Another thing we like, which is traditional, is Karelian pirogs. Karelian pirogs are... Listen to my pronunciation. Karelian pirogs are... Karelian pirogs are really good. It's like it's a rice pirog usually, or sometimes you have like potato pirogs as well. And the traditional way to eat them is to eat them with egg butter, which is basically cooked egg with butter and a little bit of salt, and you just mash them together and you eat them. I personally like to put my pirogs in the toaster before eating them. They get more crunchy that way. That's good. Oh, and then we also have this thing called Alko. How to explain this? There is a store, a chain. It's a government-owned store called Alko, which has monopoly on alcoholic beverages. Wine, spirits, all that kind of stuff you have to buy in Alko because it's regulated. It's regulated because we have a huge drinking problem, and no, people, you know, can get drunk elsewhere in Europe, but they don't have a drinking problem. A nationwide, infiltrated, cultural drinking problem that we have up in the Nordics, including Denmark, who is the only one of the Nordic countries that does not have a monopolized state-owned alcoholic beverages store. But in Finland it's called Alko, so there's like no confusion as to what they sell. Now, Alko has special bottles that obviously vodka and spirits. Koskenkorva is the most usual one, but it is a little bit on the expensive side. So people who want to get like a cheap buzz, they would buy something cheaper like Suomi Viina or Leijona Viina. Viina in Finnish means spirits, and viini means wine. Two different things. Separate those two. Second, we have viini. Wine that is not wine. I mean, it's made from berries and it has shitloads of sugar and stuff in it. And this is for people who... this is also for regular customers, to be diplomatic. They usually buy this stuff. And they have special bottles made for them with a little bit less alcohol. Yep, in Finland we can laugh at drunkards, and we do, and I do, and everybody has alcoholism in their family somewhere. It's inevitable, and yes, we do laugh at them. It's not, rejecting it as a problem, it's sort of black humor. So one of these famous beverages that I mentioned, I wrote Valdemar on Google, and I got this Pulsowiki. This is very typical Finnish. You make a Wikipedia out of everything and you write whatever comes to mind. And this is a drunkard Wikipedia. So basically they're giving points to wine and other beverages in Alko. Valdemar, the king of wines, is made purely from blending the best commodities. The true way to enjoying Valdemar, or Valsu, as it's commonly called, correctly, is straight from the bottle, preferably in public. The drinking should be executed as quickly as possible, mostly because of the taste. When you click the link and open it, it just continues. The best company for Valdemar is another Valdemar. To some, the weak 15% is too little, and so one can compensate by drinking fast instead. Anyways, it was a good site. I didn't know that one existed. These legendary bottles that the drunkards of Finland buy. And some people, maybe they like them and they are normal, but you know what? 97% of people who buy those are regular customers. And they usually stand in line on Monday morning waiting for the store to open, as the store is closed on Sundays. Now, something else that's legendary is the rock and roll drink Jaloviina. Viina, as I told you, meant spirits, and Jalo means noble, so noble spirits. This is sort of like a cognac wannabe thing. And you see it's got 1 star. There's another one that has 3 stars. 3-star Jaloviina is 3 parts cognac and 1 part vodka. 1-star Jaloviina is 1 part cognac and 3 parts vodka, so it's a lot cheaper. And it's the cheaper one that is the rock and roll one. Real rock and rollers buy 1-star Jallu or Jaloviina, called Jallu. Oh yeah, and here's a special. You ever seen this bottle? Have you ever paid 17 euros for it? The city of Turku is pretty much a student town, And so you have a lot of young people running around here, which you can see on the streets. Also because most older folk stay inside, they don't want to go out. So you see a lot of young people, impatient people who don't care about corona, or who are not smart enough to care about it in long term. Like Finland has had outbursts in especially towns. To my knowledge, all of the cases in all of July and August have all been people under the age of 35. I'm just saying. So usually you don't see nobody's on the streets here, but occasionally you find like a lunch restaurant that for some reason has crammed everybody together. Now the thing is that I don't understand is that in Finland, once one corona case is identified, authorities start tracking down where this person has been and contacting everybody they've been in contact with. And if they find out that person, that infected person has been inside a restaurant, well then, padam, the restaurant closes and all of the staff goes into quarantine. I don't think that restaurant owners don't care. I think that most of the restaurant owners here are young entrepreneurs and they are just simply too young and too inexperienced to calculate this far ahead. Anybody who ever visits Turku will probably walk along the Aura River, which runs through the center of the city and divides up the city into this part of the river and that part of the river in Turku dialect. In the early 19th century, there was a huge fire in Turku, burning down the whole town, except for this little piece of land up on the hills, which is called the Monastery Hill in English. That's the only part pretty much that is intact from the old days. Keep in mind that Turku was founded in 1200 and something. So this legendary fire has its start in the center of town, and you know basically exactly where it started. Now, good for these people, they're not alive anymore to, be accused of, being responsible for setting fire to, well, like the whole town and destroying all of it in one day. This, and nobody remembers those people. Or wait, no, yes they do, because we put out a memorial stone of where this fire started and the family name of the house. So if ever anybody feels like they're being persecuted for coughing out on the street because people think you have COVID, yeah, nah.